Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the video for Genshin Impact. I'm Ventus. In this video, I'm going to show you what I've been doing with Toma since I got him C6 on the Kazuha banner. I took a whole day to learn how to use him, and I think I got the hang of it because the team that built I'm about to show you is high-key unfuckwittable. Now, if you're new here, please sub to this channel for Genshin Impact and turn on my notifications because I upload a lot, and not just Genshin Impact, but a lot of other popular games too. Alright, so let's start off with Toma. If you were like me and you haven't but never used him before, I've got some great news. This character is extremely good and super worth it to build. He has a shield that, if done correctly, can remain on your active character through constant duration refreshes, which also gives your active character a decent buff to his damage. You'll want to get him to level 90 as soon as possible and enhance his elemental skill and burst as high as you can. His basic attacks, from what I can tell, don't really matter too much, so if you're low on resources, it seems like you can just upgrade them to like level 3 and then leave them alone. In this team, Toma is not going to be a damage dealer, but a tank that protects the entire team, and low-key, he does that just as good as Zhang.
I will have order!
To build him, you're going to want to use an artifact set that enhances his HP. The Tenacity of the Millilith set seems like it was created specifically for Toma, or Toma was made specifically for it. You get this artifact set in the Rich Watch domain that sits on the edge of Dragonspine, in between Mondstadt and Liyue. The 2-piece set increases HP by 20%, and the 4-piece set raises party members' attack when the users of the set hits an opponent with their elemental skill. Toma's elemental skill, the Blazing Blessing, is a pyro-infused kick attack that also creates a shield around Toma and remains around your active characters. The Millilith set also increases shield strength by 30% for 3 seconds. This can be triggered every 0.5 seconds, which basically means every time you use Toma's elemental skill, you get this buff. For those artifact pieces, you should definitely prioritize HP because of Toma's shield. The damage absorption of his Blazing Barrier scale off of his max HP, which means the higher his HP, the more punishment his shield can take, so you can keep it on longer. Later on in this video, I'll explain the sort of challenge there is in any fight to try and keep the shield up so you take no damage. For the Circulate, Goblet, and Sands, you'll want to have all main stats as HP, though for the Sands, you could also use Energy Recharge. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, despite having Toma's 4th Constellation, Long-Term Planning, which restores 15 energy to Toma after using his Elemental Burst, getting energy back to him can be somewhat of a challenge, but there are ways around it, which I'll explain in a bit. But for certainty, if you farm Tenacity artifacts, look for substats of HP and Energy Recharge, but high-key, HP takes priority. For a weapon, I used the Engulfing Lightning, a 5-star energy recharge spear, though if I wasn't using it, I'd 100% be using the Favonius Lance, another energy recharge polearm. I can't stress to you enough how important it is for Toma to get energy back so you can pop his burst as often as possible. At C1, Toma's skill and burst get a 3-second cooldown whenever your active character gets attacked while protected by his shield. At C2, the duration of the elemental burst is increased by 3 seconds. When Toma uses Elemental Burst, Samurai Armor materializes and remains around the active character. As far as I can tell, this is not a shield but a visual effect that signifies the burst's activation and duration. However, whenever the active character with these Samurai plates around them attacks, they will trigger Fiery Collapse, which creates a Blazing Barrier shield and adds a damage buff to their normal attacks in the form of a Pyro AoE that looks freaking cool. Now here's the really insane part of Toma's kit. When you have the Samurai Armor plates and the Blazing Barrier shield they create when the active character attacks, you can use Toma's Elemental Skill Shield to refresh the duration of the existing shield. And what's more, the remaining damage absorption of the already existing shield is stacked on top of the new one. Now earlier I mentioned the challenge of keeping Toma's shield up, so here it is. Like I just said, you can stack shields, basically, but you can also extend shield duration. So the trick is to time it correctly so you can keep shields up forever. My Toma's Blazing Blessing talent is at level 11 and has a shield duration of 8 seconds. The Samurai Armor Plate Elemental Burst that creates a shield has a duration of 12 seconds. So for 12 seconds after using Toma's burst, the active character is protected by a shield that can't be broken so long as its damage absorption barrier is not reached. So around 9 to 10 seconds, that's when you have to activate Toma's elemental skill and create a new Blazing Blessing shield, the duration of which refreshes not to the 8 seconds of the normal elemental skill shield, but to the 12 seconds of the shield that was created using the elemental burst. So you then have 12 seconds to get energy back into Toma so he can pop his burst again. Now, thanks to Toma's passive talent, Imbricated Armor, where your active character obtains or refreshes a Blazing Barrier, the shield strength will be increased by 5% for 6 seconds, an event that can occur every 0.3 seconds, which basically means all the time. And then, thanks to the Tenacity of the Millilith Armor set, whenever you refresh the shield using Toma's elemental skill, The shield strength is further increased by 30%, making your active character nearly indestructible for the next 3 seconds. During this time, for the next 12 seconds, you must get energy back to Toma so he can use his elemental burst again the second it's off cooldown. Now remember, if you have C4 Toma, you already get 15 energy back the second you use his burst. At talent level 11, the energy cost is 80 with a cooldown of 20 seconds. With C1, that time is cut down by 3 to 17 seconds. 17 minus 12 leaves 5 seconds of unshielded time. During this time, that's when I suggest using the elemental bursts of your other characters, and one of them most certainly should be a pyro type. Here's the team that I use. For the main damage dealer, I use Kaedehara Kazuha. He is C6 with the Freedom Sworn as his weapon, using full 4-piece Viridescent. Next is Bennett with the Skyward Blade and a 4-piece Noblesse. Bennett is a great choice for this because he is pyro, and every so often I can switch to him, use the tap version of his elemental skill, and switch over to Toma and collect those pyro particles to help charge his burst faster. And then the secret weapon of this build that makes it work perfectly is Venti, the Anemo Archon. For the weapon on him, I use the Windbloom Ode, and for artifacts, he also uses a 4-piece Viridescent because I'm not sure what else to run on him. If I still had the Exile set, I'd 100% use that because it used to be his permanent set for me because of the insane energy recharge returns to the rest of your team. Venti is special because of his passive talent, Storm Eye, which regenerates 15 energy for Venti after using his burst, and if an element was swirled in it, the members of your team with the corresponding element get the same 15 energy back. This build is so insane, it allowed me to take on challenges that I never thought was possible before. Just watch this.
I got you covered!
Time for takeoff.
Teamwork is strength! Clouds high, the birds calm, the wind knows me.
Brace yourself. Yeah, think you can get away? I'm going in!
As one with wind and cloud, into the wind.
Brace yourself.
I got you covered!
Time for takeoff. Everybody stand!
Clouds high, the birds call, into the wind. Check this out! Supporting fire!
Think you can get away?
Teamwork is strength! Fallen leaves, adorn my night! Don't get too close!
Let's light it up! Time for takeoff. I'm going in!
The wind knows me. As one with wind and cloud, here's backup!
Yahoo! Think you can get away?
Wind strike! Check this out! Teamwork is strength! Clouds high, the birds call!
Everybody stand back!
Experience an eon of suffering.
Brace yourself.
Don't get too close!
Time for takeoff.
I got you covered! Into the wind!
Ow!
Check this out! As one with wind and cloud, one with nature. Teamwork is dreamwork!
Yahoo!
Alright guys, so that's going to be it for this video. If you did enjoy it, or it was able to help you better understand how completely badass Toma really is, please give this video a like. If you have any questions or tips for myself or others, or advice for different Toma teams, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Be sure to check out my other Genshin Impact videos on Heizu, Kazuha, and Raiden Shogun, as they are my favorite characters. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
I'm going in! Yeah! Think you can get away?
Don't get too close! As one with wind and cloud, one with nature. Here's backup!
Let's light it up!